Yo, yo, yo. I just got back my PSA DNA index cards that I had signed along with a few postcards. I thought I'd quick show that. This will be kind of quick, and then since I figured it'd be shorter, I'm just going to show off some of the tickets I've been into and maybe talk about that as that's become a thing that I've jumped into. Um, so, got just Del Crandall, uh, all-star catcher for the Milwaukee Braves. I got that in a lot, and I figured I might as well just get it slabbed. So, got that one. The next one up, do it that way. Harvey Keene, who brought the Brewers to their only World Series appearance in 1982, where they lost in 7 games to the St. Louis Cardinals. Up after that, I've got some Bam Margera's here. I was buying these for super cheap for a while, and he was going through some rough times, and I don't know, being a fan of his from Jackass and skateboarding and whatever, kind of stocked up. So there's one, there's two, and these next two I like a lot. They're he has like a skateboard inscription, if you will. So there's the one, and then here is the other one, and that one's really nice, I think. So that one actually, that might be the one I keep for my PC as an upgrade to my previous one. All right. Next up, I've got 2 of these. Is Vita Blue. Great pitcher for the A's. Threw a no-hitter. He was part of the World Series teams in the 70s. As you can see, it says "Burn My World," a southpaw curve, fast and hard, like ... and then a signature. The reason for that is that there's a band called All, and if they're a punk band, and they're a branch off of another band called the Descendants, who are my favorite band in the world. And so I went and got Vita Blue signatures, and then I used a typewriter to put that in. I actually had sent off a couple of postcards with just those lyrics typed up and his rookie card, and wanted to get those signed. And as I sent them off, about 2 weeks later, he had passed away. So I ended up finding a couple of just blank index cards, getting that signed. There's that one I'm keeping for myself, and then this one here, I haven't decided what I'm going to do with that yet, but I've got a lot of friends who are Descendants fans, so that might end up with one of them someday. I'm not even sure yet, but really cool piece. And then yeah, that's just going to go up on my records, so pretty cool. Next up, I've got 2 of these. Enrique Ogunblali. So I'm a teacher in Milwaukee, and her dad was my principal when I first started teaching. And so we still keep in touch. I still see him a little bit. So he was able to get these signed for me, and she inscribed it, with Notre Dame Fighting Irish. The 2 dates she hit are back-to-back game winners, one to go to the finals, and then the other one to win it. And both were buzzer beaters right at the end of the game. Super clutch. And she was the MVP, most outstanding player. So super cool that he was able to get those for me. And I've got a couple of cards of her signed as well. So, up next, I was at a antique shop, and they were closing up, so there was like this guy had a ton of index cards, and everything was like half off. So I got a Tony Canadeo. He's one of 5 numbers, retired by the Packers. And then also I've got this Willie Wood Hall of Fame. So put those both in there. Figured I might as well get those slabbed. I don't know how rare either of those are. Probably not totally, but The Canadeo is super cool. That's staying with me for sure. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with that Willie Wood yet. Then I have this Aaron Rodgers cut that I got through a friend. I bought Rodgers' debut ticket from him, and he just basically threw this in. So got that slabbed up, and now I've got an autograph of Rodgers and Favre, and then I don't know if I'll ever get one of Bart Starr or not, and Jordan Love will be around for a while. Those shouldn't be necessarily hard to find, but they're probably going to be pricey. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to need to make a run on Green Bay Packers quarterbacks or not, but we'll see. And then the same antique mall that was going out of business, from the same vendor, I got this Eddie Matthews Hall of Fame plaque postcard, and then that one as well. So kind of cool pieces. I've got a couple of Matthews signed things. Maybe I'll keep one, sell one. I know a lot of people that collect the Hall of Fame plaques, and they're trying to get all of those signed. That's pretty cool, but I definitely do not need another project. So if I keep one, it'll be just to have it in my PC, but I'm not going to really make a run at it. However, I guess I could do the Hall of Fame plaques of Milwaukee players, and that wouldn't be too bad. Between Aaron and Spahn, Matthews, and then Yount, Molitor, Raleigh Fingers, Don Sutton, Trevor Hoffman, guys who've come through. So maybe I can keep that in consideration, but again, I don't know if I necessarily need another project. And finally on that front then, I've got this Warren Spahn. And I just got this postcard again from the Antique Mall. And, wanted to get that slabbed. Spahn's a hero here. My uncle was actually named after Warren Spahn, which is pretty cool. My grandfather attended every opening day baseball game in Milwaukee from the time the Braves started in '53 up until he passed away in 2010. So, 2009. Yeah, 2009 is when he passed away. Anyway, so we've got those. And I don't know, I guess while you're here, if you're in a ticket stub, stick around. If not, that's cool if you decide to duck out. But I love autographs. I love cards. I love tickets. I don't know. So my most recent acquisition showed up today. This is Jackson Churrio's debut in Major League Baseball. I had somebody from Booger's Tickets be able to pick one up for me. The Mets are not really printing tickets from my understanding. And so I know some people got them. I don't know how many are out there. I can't imagine that there's more than 100, though. I could be wrong. I could totally be wrong on that. But the guy who I got it from was able to get a handful. Somebody else, I think, got 15 or 20, but he got them from the Thursday game that was rained out. So this is the actual Major League debut. And I'm sure that there's, another maybe 25, 50 out there. So really excited to have this. This is totally like prospecting, but with tickets. This is not something I'm going to do, but because the Brewers signed him to 10 years before he even played a game, and he's already doing great things. So hopefully I can get this signed and, put it in my PC, and it'll be, one of my better moves of all time. Then I've got 3 from Churrio's Milwaukee debut. I was really hoping he'd get a home run on opening day, but he did not. He did get one yesterday, and luckily I had a friend that was at the game and was able to get some tickets printed off that he had. So I'll have those to my collection as well. So I'm pretty stoked about that. Moving on, just a Pools 500 home run. I'm sure there's a ton of those out there, but I'm still kind of green to this, is what I tell these guys on the Boogers Facebook page. But I'm having a lot of fun learning more about it, and and for the cards that I'm chasing right now, this is actually a lot more budget friendly avenue for me to go down right now. So, so there's that. I'd like to get that card or get that ticket signed, although I don't know how much Pool signs. So right now there's a PSA special where tickets are cheap. So maybe I'll send that one off, and then I know those Pools tickets at a later time are not very expensive. So if I do see a signing, I can probably snag another one. There's Yaz's 3,000th hit. This ticket stub is from when the Mets played the Dodgers, and then Major League Baseball retired Jackie Robinson's number. Very cool piece of history. I'm just going to send this one in. It's got some wear and tear to it. I'm okay with that. It's a really cool stub, and I'm pretty happy to have it as a fan of Jackie Robinson. And so Harold Baines' first triple. I don't know. I found this one in a lot for like dirt cheap. So I'm gonna send that off. I'm assuming that there's somebody in Chicago that would probably be interested in that. I don't think there's any that are graded. So maybe a PC thing for something else. But kind of a neat thing that I found while digging. Next up, Pedro Martinez's 2000th strikeout. Again, big Pedro fan. Maybe my favorite pitcher of all time. Probably my favorite pitcher of all time. It's either him or Nolan Ryan. And his 3,000th K I know is attainable, and do some hunting for his thousands. But this one I found for under $10 because the person I bought it through just had a ton of Royals tickets, and knew Pedro would pitch that day, but didn't know he hit that milestone. Whatever. So that's kind of the fun treasure hunt of ticket collecting, and I don't know. That's kind of the way that I've been going about it. Not trying to find major milestones or anything, or super expensive tickets, but just the ones that I find interesting and that I can find for little to no money. Same thing here. I don't know. This wasn't expensive at all. It's the very first game that the Brewers had in the playoffs in 1981. It was a strike-shortened season. They played the Yankees. They got beat. And then the Yankees, I believe, went on to win the World Series that year. They definitely, they went to the World Series, but I'm pretty sure that they won it that year as well. Could be wrong. Then I've got Glavin's 20th win from 1992. It's either the year after or the year before. He also had 20 wins and won the Cy Young, but this year he was like top 3, maybe number 2. But either way, again, cheap ticket, and I'm going to send that one off. These next two are actually two of my more pricey purchases, but these are both from Disco Demolition Night. If you're unaware, Bill Veeck just had an idea that between a doubleheader, people would bring in their disco records in 1979, and then they would blow them up on the field. The end result was a riot on the field. They had to cancel the night game, and they forfeited it over, and the White Sox lost. And there was like riots on the field, and there was fires, and it's pretty nuts. I've mentioned the Dollop before when I was talking about Rube Waddell. The Dollop does a great job of going through the actual events through a podcast, and it's these two comedians, and totally worth listening to. One of them is a huge baseball fanatic, so there's a number of really great baseball-related podcasts on the Dollop, and yeah, I totally would recommend anybody checking those out. This next one is interesting. As I mentioned before, I'm a Descendants fan. I'm a big punk rock guy. This ticket is from Jim Whalewander's first home run and his only home run for the Detroit Tigers. And that's not a name that I would expect any of you to recognize. But in 1988, he had a scorecard, and on the back of said card, it mentions that Jim Whalewander is a big fan of the Dead Milkmen. And he the night before this game, Whale Wander went and saw the Dead Milkmen play, and the next day on that Sunday, the Dead Milkmen came to the Detroit Tigers game, Tiger Stadium, and they were hanging out during batting practice. Took some pictures with like Sparky Anderson and other players that are on the team. They had to leave to go to their next show, but on that day, that was Jim Whale Wander's only home run, and it was a game winner. And I don't know if it's officially called this, but I'm going to call it the Dead Milkman game. And I'm hoping that Whale Wander, who does sign through the mail, but currently is taking a little bit of a break, it looks like, if you're a part of sportscollectors.net, that he does come back and start signing tickets, and that he would inscribe it with this only home run and the Dead Milkman game. I think that'd be super cool. So I picked this one up from a guy in Boogers, and it's pretty sweet. I'm pretty stoked on it. These next two are pretty readily available. Those are Nolan Ryan's 300th wins. As I said in a previous video, I was at that game with my dad and my sister. These are just two other stubs that I came across. One of them, I believe, was my dad's. And the other one, I just somewhere tracked down at an antique shop or something. I think I'm going to send those to get signed, and then, then do whatever from there, get them graded and whatnot. But, yeah, big deal in Milwaukee history. There's probably about 500,000 people that were at Nolan Ryan's 300th win. Next up, I'm sending this off to Paul Molitor and Dennis Eckersley. Me and one of my friends drove through the night on a whim to go see Molitor get inducted into the Hall of Fame. And so we got to Cooperstown. We had very little sleep, but we went into the Baseball Hall of Fame Museum, checked all that out. Next day, saw Molitor and Eckersley get inducted, and then we took off and basically drove back through the night to go home. Super fun trip and great memory. And since they both signed through the mail, I figured when I found my ticket going through old stuff, that I should just mail this off and get them both to sign it. I think it'd be really cool. So I'm going to do that. I figured I would just throw this one into my little video here. Speed this up a little bit. Yount's 2,500th hit. I've got his 1,000th and 2,000th and 3,000th. That one will be coming up here in a little bit. But yeah, I found this one on eBay. Again, it was a game that nobody recognized. It was just like buy a stub, July 2nd. Whatever. I tracked down the date and a little bit of homework and was able to grab that one for not too much. So, does have a big crease in it that you probably can't see, but that's all right. We've got Bond's NL home run record. Now, I might have missed this one a little bit. He either tied it or broke it, and I'm going to have to double check that before I send this in, because even if Bonds does sign, it's not like this ticket's, super important. It's not like he broke the single season or all-time record with it. But it's cool because I was there. So I'm just going to get it for my own PC here and have that. And then same thing, A-Rod's 400th home run. I was at that game. So get that slab. And again, A-Rod is actually not super expensive, but it's his 400th home run. I don't know if it was his 500th or his first, I don't know. I think that would be more worthwhile, but just to have his 400th, I don't think I'd really want to spend the money on that one, unless I was trying to build some kind of milestone set, which I'm not. All right. Chicago Cubs versus Houston Astros at Miller Park, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I believe this is because of a hurricane in Houston. I'm almost certain that was the case. And so they were able to play the game at Miller Park. and they were able to relocate. The Brewers were gone that day. So they just made tickets available. I think 26,000 showed up. And Carlos Zambrano threw a no-hitter, which is the only no-hitter in Miller Park, or a now American Family Field, but nobody who lives around here calls it that. We all still call it Miller Park. And yeah, so kind of a neat piece of history. This one I'd like to get signed. I'm going to hang on to it for a while and see if Zambrano does some signings. He was playing with the Chicago Dogs last summer, 2 summers ago. So, he's still part of baseball, even if it's independent league, although I don't think he's going to be pitching ever again. But I'm going to try to get this one signed. It's a really cool thing, even though I despise the Cubs. Then I've got these 3 here. These were all CC Sabathia's 200th win. I'm going to send these off. I'm not planning on really getting these signed. Wouldn't be bad to get his 250th win, his 3,000th K, maybe his 100th win, 50th win, whatever. Find some of those milestones. But kind of just track these down just because he was like a half-season legend for the Brewers in 2008. He pitched he was on 3 days rest going into the playoffs. Put the Brewers into the first time they were in the postseason since '82. It's a really big deal in Milwaukee. And some people even think that we should retire his number, which I think is more tongue-in-cheek. But yeah, so those Sabathia 200 wins. And again, I got that the seller had those under a Mariano Rivera save number. I don't know what it was, but it was some just random number save, but missed the boat on the Sabathia one, so I got those for relatively cheap. And I actually don't even know what values of things like this go for. I'm still very much learning. And then I've got semifinals of the World Baseball Classic of 2006, the very first World Baseball Classic. I have the other ones, the finals. Those are off at PSA already, so you'll see those at some point. But with PSA doing this special, I figured now's the time to probably send these both in and just have the set of both the semifinals and the final matchup. These are, I believe, walk-up seats. There was a ticket pack where there's perforated ones for you to tear them out of a book, but these do not have any perforation at all. They do have a little MLB thing on the back here. So at first I wasn't sure if these were legit, but I'm pretty certain that they are. So just after doing a little bit of digging and research. Then I've got Super Bowl 31 in New Orleans. Packers won the Super Bowl. That was my senior year of high school. One of the greatest days of my life, probably. Top 20? I don't know. Top 10? More likely. So got that. And I'd like to get that signed by Desmond Howard. He does do signings. I just got to kind of be patient and wait until he does one and then go from there. Couple more here. I was going through, my uncle passed away, 8, 10 years ago. And he was a big music fan, as you've gathered from this video that kind of learned that I am as well. My dad was able to get a whole bunch of his concert tickets that he had all in an envelope. These are from Eric Clapton's concert at Alpine Valley in 1990, and the significance of these is that they happen to be Stevie Ray Vaughan's last ever performance. They were all playing together. There's 3 helicopters that were going to all go to Chicago, and it was pretty foggy, and Stevie Ray Vaughan got on a helicopter, and the pilot basically went right into the ski hill about a half a mile away or so. All members on board died instantly. I had just recently found out that Eric Clapton said that he was actually supposed to go onto that helicopter with him, but he gave up his seat for another staff or crew member. And the other 2 helicopters, they rerouted a different way, and but this one didn't. So Stevie Ray Vaughan's last concert, those are going off to PSA pretty soon. I'll be keeping one and then probably working a trade for another one. We'll see. We'll see what I do with that. And then finally, just got these back. Robbie out did a signing. I said I was going to have 3,000th hit. I got these through sports for a card shop, sports card shop near my house that Yount does signings with them from time to time. I was able to get both these. I decided, for the cost of the inscription, just to get the one inscribed, and a little bit of a bummer because inscriptions are like $50. And so I asked to have like 3,000th hit. I only got 3,000. I mean, it's not really the end of the world. I maybe could have finagled with the card shop, but I decided not to. But yeah, this is a game that I was at. This ticket here was mine. Or one of the ones that I had. This other one was one that I just found on eBay. But this one's really nice. I think it could easily get a 9, maybe a 10 when I send it in for grading. So pretty cool. But yeah, anyway, that's it from me. Thanks for watching. This maybe ran a little bit longer than I expected, but hopefully you dug it. And when those tickets come back, I'll do another video and we'll talk about them then. All right, feel free to like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Peace.